Good afternoon. Hi. I'm glad to welcome here today tourism representatives from Bahrain and Kuwait at our digital roadshow for Middle East. As you know, it is aimed at strengthening the relations between Moscow, Bahrain, and Kuwait in tourism. But before we start, a few technical moments about simultaneous translation. Let me share the screen with you to show how it's done. So to choose English, you need to click on the interpretation button at the bottom of the Zoom screen. You can see it as a global icon, and you need to choose the correct language, which probably should be English for you. I'll just leave the slide for a few seconds just for you to check it out. I hope you can do that. If any problems, please write in the chat. We'll try to help you out. So I hope everyone coped with the translation. I hope it's all right. Today we're going to present what Moscow really is now and what we can offer for our tourist guests every day. And to create a little atmosphere, a wonderful atmosphere of Moscow, here's a short video of our city. And I think we were ready to begin. And I would like to introduce our very honored guests for today. Deputy Head of the Department for External Economic and International Relations of Moscow, Mr. Oleg Shutenko. Deputy Chairman of Moscow City Tourism Committee, Ms. Tatiana Shalshavitskaya. Minister of Tourism of the Chechen Republic, Mr. Muslim Bayraziev. Deputy CEO of the Bahrain Tourism and Exhibition Authority, Mrs. Fatima Jafar Al Sairati. Head of Cultural Events Division of Garden Hermitage, Ms. Irina Turisheva. And Ms. Evgenia Golomuz, who is Editor-in-Chief of the magazine Russian Restaurant News. And now I would like to turn the floor over to Deputy Head of the Department for External Economic and International Relations of Moscow, Mr. Oleg Shutenko. Mr. Shutenko, please welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, we are very pleased that Moscow's relations with the Arabian Gulf countries are actively developing and with each passing day are breaking a new ground. The level of cooperation between Moscow and Bahrain, Moscow and Kuwait are not yet very high, but this event, among other things, can serve as a starting point for a new direction in the development of the world's leading city destination by World Travel Awards in 2019 and 2020. Tourist rating also show that Moscow is in the top 5 of the world best cities ranking by Resonance Consultancy. I sincerely believe that cooperation between the region will be fruitful, and sincerely I hope that such successfully developing partners will continue to work together to implement existing bilateral agreements and conclude new ones. May our joint efforts have a significant positive impact on the economies of the regions and contribute to the full development of cultural exchange. As you may know, the Russian Federation has decided to nominate Moscow as a candidate city for the right to host the World's Universal Fair in 2030. Russia has been a regular participant in the Expo since the first exhibition in London in 1951. But despite the active participation in exhibition movement, Russia has never been hosted as exhibition on its territory. Today, Moscow is one of the leading metropolitan areas with developed infrastructure, modern transport system, which surpass many world capitals in terms of digitalization of services and integration into international tourism and cultural agenda. Over the past few years, the city has rapidly confirmed its compliance with the high standards of hospitality, comfort, and safety when hosting international events of global scale. In our opinion, of all the above allow the Russian capital to claim the right to host Expo 2030. And in conclusion, we count on the support of Moscow as candidate city and on your votes for the Russian application during the ballot at General Assembly of BEI in June 2023. We will be grateful for confirmation represented position through diplomatic channels. Thank you very much.
Mr. Shutenko, thank you so much for your kind words. We'll try to strengthen the relationship between Moscow and Bahrain and Kuwait even more. And now I would like to introduce our next speakers, who is Ms. Tatiana Shashevitskaya, Deputy Chairman of Moscow City Tourism Committee. She will say a few welcoming words and then pass the floor over to Ms. Anna Fonarkova, who is Head of International Division of Moscow City Tourism Committee. Ladies, please welcome.
Good afternoon, dear friends and colleagues. Moscow City Tourism Committee oversees the issues of tourism activities in Moscow and creates an attractive image of a hospitable city. And before that, I want to congratulate our colleagues from Bahrain and Kuwait with the Islamic New Year. And now my colleague Anna Fonarkova will continue our presentation. Anna, please.
Hello, dear colleagues. Good afternoon. I'm the head of Moscow City Tourism Committee International Division, and our division is in charge of communicating with foreign authorities and attracting tourists from different countries. And now I want to, one second, I will show you our presentation. So here it is. Now I want to show you Moscow, one second, that's like this. Yeah, I want to show you Moscow as it is today and as I see it and as I want you to see it with me. I hope I will inspire you with our city. We live in a new, rapidly changing times, and I would like to start with two things that concern modern tourists, visas and safety. So from 2021, Kuwait and Bahrain will be able to get an electronic Russian visas, and it can be ready in 4 business days and costs $40. Regarding the safety issues, we are following both our national safety protocols and global safety standards. In Moscow, all cultural institutions, museums, restaurants, cafes are open to visitors. Concerts and exhibitions are being held, and masks are not required on the streets and in open public spaces. Tourists arriving in Moscow needs to provide a PCR test upon arrival that was done not earlier than 72 hours before entering Russia. So here is the slide about our digital assistant for planning trips around the country, Ruspass. This service was developed by Moscow city government. Using it, travelers can buy train or plane tickets, book a hotel room, or find restaurants, buy tickets to the concerts or museums. Partners from the tourism and hospitality industry in Moscow and all Russian regions are involved in cooperation with our service. And this is one of the ways for you to cooperate with Moscow, to sell your joint tours with Russian partners there, and to find out new sites and places for your tours. And now let's dive in Moscow atmosphere. Moscow has so many layers, and we Moscow residents and sometimes tourists in our own city love it for a special vibe that makes each day here so colorful, bright, and not like another. We value historical and cultural heritage, and we're happy to talk about it. But we work a lot, but at the same time, we certainly know how to spend our leisure time, and we love to eat. Today, I would like to tell you how each Moscow tourist, each Moscow guest can find something of their own in the capital of Russia and live here for a week or two like local. And so here you can see our beautiful park just in the center of Moscow, Zaradia. Moscow is a tremendously attractive city that unites many eras into a single whole. It will take really a lot of time to find out what Moscow is, to go around all the valleys, to see museum treasures of the past, and to get acquainted with today's Moscow. Moscow, the city that has absorbed a lot of amazing, available and technology sites at the same time. Moscow is the keeper of centuries-old history, and you can find it in the Kremlin museums, for example, or in Moscow Underground. I'm sure that you heard something about it, and I'm absolutely sure that it will take your breath away when you see it. Moscow is one of the leading modern cities in the world, modern metropolises, and we keep up with the technologies, and you can check it out with the AR excursions around the city. And to get to know the capital better, start from its history. Of course, for many tourists, the main point of attraction is the center of the city. A lively, active 24/7 buzzing with events filled with history. But sometimes guests of the capital, like us, Moscovites, want to slow down, be alone with themselves and nature. And for this case, we have a lot of wonderful Moscow parks and we have a great opportunity for creativity and for spending some interesting time with some cultural, educational or sports event there, or just to be with yourself. We'll have a presentation by our partners, by one of the gardens that located just in the center of the city. And I'm sure my colleague will tell you more about it. Actually, we know that travelers from Middle East often come with families and with children, from toddlers to teens. And Moscow is a big and fast, really, but it's not only a city for successful and always in a hurry grown-ups, but we're sure that it's also for young, curious travelers. And as always, all the best for them. Attractions in the Moscow parks, entertainment complex, and for example, we can suggest ice cream factory on the highest observation desk in Europe, that is 327 meters high, interactive excursions, and much more. Moscow offers so many different ways how to spend your free time here, and I will show you a few examples. And since we have started with bird's eye views, then you probably understand that the sky in Russia is not the limit for us. Russia is a space power, and Moscow provides many opportunities for everyone to explore the vastness of our universe. Adults and children can study all the details of preparing for a flight into space, learn about the life of spacemen in the new space pavilion on Vedin Park and the Museum of Cosmonautics. And you can continue your acquaintance with space in the Star City in nearest Moscow region, where real cosmonauts are trained. If space seems too distant for you, but the sky still attracts you, you have the opportunity to see the whole city sitting in the passenger seat in the helicopter or plane, or riding over the Moscow River in one of the cable car cabins, overlooking the greenery of Sparrow Hills and endless Moscow in the sunshine. How to spend your days here is up to you. We understand that guests from GCC countries are used to high standards of their lifestyle, so Moscow surely can offer it. Let us imagine one of the days like this here in Moscow. Maybe you want to go to see the horse racing in the morning, to see some wonderful stallions at the Moscow Hippodrome. Then after the lunch, you could play golf on one of the best courses in Moscow with bright green lawns and high quality service. Then for the evening, we can suggest to settle a trip on one of the cruise ships over the Moscow River at the sunset, for example, or attend the ballet or opera and watch talented artists from Bolshoi Theater Box on one of the world's great stages. So, dear friends, I hope I managed to inspire you by our city. And finally, I would like to add a few more details about Moscow. For most of us, Moscow is filled with the new emotions and new impressions and opens up to those who carefully examine this colorful piece. I think that getting to know a new city should never be too tiresome. And I'm sure that in any trip, it's worth finding some me time. And in our city, it means seeing a different side of the city. Relaxed, unhurried, hedonistic. And Moscow is a true gastronomic adventure, cool shopping locations for the different shoppers, and plenty places where you can take care of yourself. And I would also like to announce that in fall, we expect Michelin's arrival in Moscow and the release of Legendary Guide. We will become even more attractive for foodies and hedonists. Then the last slide is just our web resource of our different sites and projects, and maybe you can find something more attractive, interesting, and new for you there. So thank you so much for your attention. And I think that I'm sure my colleagues will tell you more interesting things about gastronomy things and green spots in Moscow and about our regional cooperation. Thank you so much.
Yes, Anna, thank you so much for a very inspiring presentation of Moscow. I think all of us have found something new and unique about our city. And I would like to join Ms. Tatiana in congratulating our colleagues from Bahrain and Kuwait with Islamic New Year. It's so nice to have it like in the middle of the year. And now I would like to turn the floor over to Ms. Irina Turisheva, who is head of Cultural Events Division of the Garden Hermitage. Ms. Irina, please, the floor is all yours.
Colleagues, dear guests, good afternoon. I'm very happy to participate in this webinar, and I'm gladly present Hermitage Garden for Moscow Muscovites. This place has been one of the favorite places for recreation, even though Moscow has many parks, and some of the locations attract people because they have more services and attractions, but still people still come to the Hermitage Garden. It's located in the very center of Moscow at Karetny Rad Street. So this garden is located in the city center next to Karetny Rad. Its area is almost 5 hectares, and flower beds and plants take up to 50% of its territory. So just a few words about history. Back in the 19th century, there was a large demand for horse carriages. So this is how that street was developed initially, and Hermitage Garden was located there. Hermitage, translated from French, means a place of solitude. That was the first um, such an attraction place in Moscow, with pavilions, with coffee shops, dancing floors. This year we celebrated 127 years of this garden. On its territory, there are 3 theaters: the New Opera, the Sphere, and the Hermitage Theaters, which are all cultural heritage monuments. In the year of 2000, it received some sculptural compositions of Dante Alighieri and Victor Hugo. We have a historic electric lamppost that dates back to the mid-19th century, and it also has a large silver heart which represents all lovers. We also have a stage with the bust of great Russian composer Tchaikovsky and Glinka. In 2012, during the government program to develop a tourism industry, renovation and landscaping operations started. Large-scale works were done to expand our infrastructure and also to landscape the garden. Annually, the garden is attended by over 2 million people. Admission is free. But still, what is it that attracts visitors? It is located in the center of a major city, and it's a quiet, cozy place where you can have a quiet moment. Also, you can visit shows in one of the theaters located there, or attend other cultural events which are regularly held there. And also, it's very green and it's very beautiful. So it was landscaped in such a way to meet requirements of all the visitors. We have a ballet studio for kids, we have a music studio, we have dancing studios, and other children clubs. We have free Wi-Fi access, we have cafes and shops. Every year in the garden, we hold large events on different topics. We have theater, musical festivals, we have ethnic festivals, and so they become signature events for the garden. We also hold concerts for different categories of visitors, and we also have some creative and entertaining events, activities for children. We cooperate with charity foundations. We regularly hold socially oriented activities and festivals. In the summertime, we install 10 stables. We have a summer movie theater, which has a large screen and a non-standard audience place. You don't have normal chairs, you have cushions. So all in this winter time, we have 2 skating rings one with artificial ice covering of 1,000 square meters and with natural ice of 4,000 square meters. Both skating rinks are equipped with warm locker rooms, cafes, and storage rooms. So we also have some free activities in different areas like yoga, fitness, Pilates, Zumba, dances of different types, modern jazz, salsa, rock and roll, ballroom dances. And of course, we have painting classes and open plein air activities for adults and children. Other studios operate, and we also have daycare groups for kids. Even though it's fairly small in its territory, and this is one of the oldest city gardens, and it's able to create an optimal balance of a recreational place, of a place of quiet, and also a cultural place where you can find something for yourself, where you can find or attend an interesting event. Welcome to Moscow. And the Hermitage Garden is always open to new guests and projects, and thank you for your attention.
Miss Irina, thank you so much for a beautiful presentation. It's so great and so nice that we have such wonderful gardens right in the center of Moscow, and we can visit like on a very busy day. And I would like to turn the floor over to Miss Evgenia Golomus, who is editor-in-chief of the magazine Russian Restaurant News. Ms. Golomus, please, welcome.
Good afternoon. Just a second. Oh, shit. Just 1 second. Good afternoon. My name is Evgenia Golomus. I am the editor-in-chief of one of the Russian magazines regarding restaurant scene. I will tell you a little bit more about what is it to eat there in Moscow. There's quite a lot, to be sure. We'll start with the super fine dining. We actually have 2 restaurants that are right now in the top 50 best. One of them is White Rabbit. It's number 13 right now, and its chef Vladimir Mukhin is in top 100 best world chefs at the moment. This restaurant offers super fine dining, a la carte, and they also offer a set menu. What's important, if you order in advance, or if you're a group of 6 or more people, you can order halal meat, and they can make dishes to your taste. You won't be able to order that whilst you're in the restaurant, but if you order in advance via email or phone, they'll be able to accommodate you. The other restaurant I'd like to tell you about is oh, just a second. It's Twins Garden. It's an interesting restaurant with a beautiful view around the city with 2 twin chefs, Ivan and Sergei Berezutsky. What they actually have to offer, apart from the standard set menu and a la carte menu, they have a vegetable set menu, which might be of interest. And they can also accommodate groups of people in advance, and they can also switch their meat to halal options, but also only if ordered in advance. These are 2 restaurants that are must visit if you're interested in fine dining and if you're interested in beautifully presented food with a beautiful, stunning views over the city. The other restaurant I'd like to recommend and to look out for, it's Sava. Sava is based in the Hotel Metropole, which is a 5-star hotel right in the city center. And its chef, Andrei Shmakov, does quite creative things with the menu. Also, what they offer is the tea menu. You can come at 5 o'clock, you can have some cake without eating the main food. He also offers a chef's table in advance, and they can also offer you halal meat if you order in advance. What is also there to see in Russia is, of course, the traditional Russian food. There are lots and lots of different restaurants, and what we would like to recommend, apart from trying traditional Russian honey cake, which we know is quite famous for the visitors from Arab countries, is to try traditional Russian food. The 2 restaurants I'll show you now, or if you order in advance, we'll provide you with halal menu and halal options. You won't find them on the traditional menu you'll be presented, but you will be able to have some cake and tea without any problems. Pushkin restaurant is one of the eldest restaurants, also right in the city center, with a stunning setting, very Instagram worthy, different rooms, antique furniture. You know, sometimes and at the weekend they have classic music and classical Russian dishes. It's quite amazing. The Matryoshka restaurant, based right by the Moscow River near the Hotel Ukraina, which is also quite a beautiful building. What they offer is a take on the Russian food. It's a modern take with a beautiful presentation and also quite a stunning views. But all of those restaurants, if you call them at least 3-4 days in advance, will be able to provide you with halal options. On the standard menu, unfortunately, they don't have them. And all the restaurants I'm telling you about, they all do serve alcohol. There are quite a lot of seafood restaurants, as Moscow known as the port of 5 seas, although we don't actually have a sea, but we have deliveries from all over Russia, from our southern seas, our northern seas, and we also have deliveries from the Indian Ocean. Quite a lot of seafood comes from Japanese Sea as well. The Ervin Reka More is quite a large restaurant that has private rooms, which might be of interest, and they provide over 50 different dishes with different seafood, completely different styles, from deep fried food to fresh fish. And what's quite good about this restaurant that they can accommodate at very short notice large groups of people. They do have a meat menu, and if you order again in advance, if you write at least 5-6 days, they'll be able to provide halal options. Most restaurants would not have it on their regular menu, but they will have be able to provide it if you order in advance. The other seafood restaurant, which is in the business center of Moscow, Belaruska Metro, is Boston Seafood, which provides more traditional taste of seafood, more traditional options of something you might be more used to. And they also able to cater for private large groups and provide closed up areas for the private parties. There are quite a lot of Muslim-owned and halal restaurants. I will mention some of them now, but please note there is only several restaurants that are completely alcohol-free. One of the oldest and central restaurant is Taj Mahal. Please, I hope the name doesn't confuse you, because apart from Indian menu, they provide Oriental and European menu, and all their meat is halal and they're certified. They do provide shisha on outside area, and they do have alcohol in their menu right now, but they can provide closed up areas for the groups if ordered in advance, which will be alcohol free. Another quite old restaurant with the Oriental food is Mr. Livanets. They also have shisha. They have halal meat, and they are certified, but they also do serve alcohol. One of the entertainment restaurants in Moscow is Chihan. The guy on the right-hand side is the chef, and he does quite an amazing meat show. All their meat is halal. You do have to book in advance because they're quite busy. And apart from traditional steaks, they have quite a lot of show pieces and the show menu. They do serve alcohol, but it's very, very Instagram restaurant. They do provide for large groups, and you don't have to book for many days in advance, but do book before coming in. One of the restaurants that is completely alcohol-free and Muslim-owned is Zhiyest. It serves traditional Dagestan food, and it's one of the places where you can come with large groups just for tea, coffee, and try traditional sweets, which they'll be very, very happy to accommodate. What we also have in Russia, we have quite a large community of Uzbek and Kyrgyz workers, which now created quite a large amount of small cafes. So one of them is a chain called Ayva, and they serve traditional Oriental Uzbek food. They are all Muslim-owned, they're all alcohol-free, and they're very, very cheap. You can find them mostly by the metro stations, and there are quite a lot of them. We also know that there is interest in patisseries, and there are quite a lot of them in Moscow. We can go and just have a cake. One of the newer ones opened quite recently. It's Nika. It's Muslim owned, and the chef patisserie she was trained in Paris. So it's a little sort of a French corner of Moscow, quite an exquisite cakes and quite amazing. The other one of the newest cafes with the pastry in Moscow is Lila Pastry. Apart from that, there are quite a lot of patisseries in Moscow where you can just go in, have a cake, try our traditional honey cake, try our traditional Moscow cake, right in the city center, and you don't have to book in advance. Some of them do serve alcohol, but most of them do not because they're quite small. What we also would like to offer is and advise to is to visit our markets. Quite a large amount of markets right in the city center. What they also have is food halls, which most of them would not have halal options, but most of them would have a fish corners or would have Uzbek or as here presented Dagestan corner, where you would see the ladies making traditional pastries, making traditional foods, usually dough-based with lots and lots of different flavors and fillings. One of the biggest ones and one of the most modern ones is Danilovsky Market on Tulskaya metro station, and it's quite amazing. You can also walk around and have a look at what's there is to offer from Russian motherland, because there's quite a lot of vegetable stalls, fruit stalls from where the food is brought from all over the country. The other market is one of the biggest one. It's actually the largest food court in Europe with over 75 corners as of today, with different styles of food. You have Indian food, you have Moroccan food, lots of Chinese food. You can try traditional Russian food, Siberian, Russian corners. There's quite a lot of seafood corners there with the sushi and shellfish. There is also halal restaurant called Chef Amazonia with lots of steaks and quite a lot of space for large groups of people. Russia right now is, I think, is quite one of the most vibrant, and Moscow especially, spots on the world map. You know, with the Michelin coming, with lots and lots of restaurants stepped up their game, and you can try lots and lots of really interesting and really tasty food. We do offer, we do advise to book in advance for large groups, and a large group is 4 people or more, because most restaurants would need to move some tables to accommodate you, but they will be happy to do so if they're prepared. And all the main restaurant groups, Novikov Group, Rappaport Group, and the Lost Family, they will all offer halal options if ordered in advance. If you have any questions, please ask. I'll be happy to answer. Thank you.
Miss Evgenia, thank you so much. It was very inspiring, very informative, and I'm sure it helped our guests in terms with halal food, because it is very important issue for them. Thank you so very much. And I would like to introduce our next speaker, who is Mr. Muslim Bayraziyev, Minister for Tourism of the Chechen Republic. Mr. Bayraziyev, please welcome. The floor is all yours.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. It is with pleasure that I present my region today. It's an honor for us. We wanted to share this new destination with you and a new product that we implemented with the Moscow's Tourism Committee. So it's called Moscow Plus. So when foreign travelers, when they visit Russian Federation and come to Moscow, they can also spend several days, take a flight to one of the Muslim regions in the Russian Federation. In this case, we're talking about the Chechen Republic. Hopefully you're able to see it. So our tourist slogan is the land of heroes. And in fact, if you look at the history of the Chechen Republic, it's obvious that this land is a land of heroes, those who restored peace and order in its land, those who put themselves on the path of contemplation. And for the last 8 years, we actively developed tourism in our region. The capital of our republic is the city of Grozny. It was founded in 1818, and now the city is truly one of the brightest and vividest cities in Northern Caucasus. We have some domestic flights. For instance, we have flights from Moscow 5 times a day. We have direct connection with Dubai, Istanbul, and Antalya. So flights change all the time. You know, this situation with pandemic is quite complicated, so the number of international flights can be added or reduced depending on the situation. So, with Emirates or with Turkey, we always had flights. On this slide, you can see the city center. We have a high-rise complex called Grozny City. The tallest building is Phoenix. It has 45 stories, and in southern Russia, it's the tallest building, and in Northern Caucasus as well. Also on the slide, you can see the heart of Chechnya Mosque. I will tell you more about that. It's an attraction that which attracts hundreds of thousands of people. It was built by Turkish construction workers. So it has a very specific architecture. So we have over 1,200 mosques. The largest one is located in Shali. It can host 30,000 people. So now let's take a look at some of the key attractions and places of attraction of Chechnya. Of course, I will not be able to showcase everything, but we'll be happy to answer all of your questions, and later we will share our contact info, and we'll be more than happy to share our presentations, share with you videos and photos, and provide all the detailed information. One of the most popular places that is visited by tourists is Lake Kizanov Am, one of the deepest and largest lakes in Northern Caucasus. It's located at the altitude of 1,870 meters. So the area is 10 square kilometers. So it's a very picturesque place, and the road to the lake takes about an hour and a half from the capital of Chechnya. And I think many of you who have been to Europe, so in terms of being picturesque, the road to the lake is just as picturesque as some roads in Switzerland or in Italy, but location itself, it's really amazing. It's a place to visit if you are in Chechnya. The Argon Gorge is also a very popular destination for our tourists. It's the longest gorge in the Northern Caucasus. It's almost 120 kilometers, and you travel alongside this gorge. There are hundreds of historical heritage sites. On this slide, you can see an necropolis with some tombs that was considered one of the hardest to reach in the Russian Federation. It was very difficult to get there because it is located on the border with Georgia, so very close to Georgian border. So all-season tourist and recreation complex Veduchi in Chechnya, starting from the 2017, we have been building ski resorts, and now the resort is the starting point by 2023-24 winter season. We'll have over 16 kilometers of ski slopes, or the northern slope of Danduk Mountain that you are able to see here on the slide. Even now, the resort operates as all-seasonal resort. There are hotels there. There are opportunities to get all the necessary equipment for bike tours, for jeep tours, for walking tours, etc. Russian Special Forces University is located also in Chechnya. It has no analogs, no parallels. It's a new university for special forces in the Russian Federation. And in this case, it's located 30 kilometers from Grozny, our capital, and there you can drive a buggy for special forces, and actually they're manufactured locally at the university. You can also fly in the largest aerodynamic tube in Europe, and then you can also go through a shooting course, so with an instructor. University trains special forces, but its concept is such it was from the sport, so it can also host civilians. So when you go to the university, and tourist tours to the university have been very popular in recent years. In Chechnya, we also hold multiple events. We have a regatta on the lake, sailing regatta. We have a gastronomic festival called Shashlik Mashlik, and tourists really enjoy it as well as locals. You also have Benovinskaya Spring Festival of folk art. We have coffee festival, etc. We keep working on various products in our republic, and I'm sure that we'll be able to surprise you not only with the beauty of our nature and our culinary achievements, but also with our traditions and our culture, because the key attractive feature of the Chechen Republic is its people. We have prepared dozens of tours that you can select from depending on your preferences and likes. A youth tour, if you would like to have time with your friends. We have also tours for newlyweds, for family couples with children. We have extreme tours because for rafting, zip lining, and we have once again Russian Special Forces universities, also kayaking and other activities, anything that you can imagine. And also wanted to mention that with the Moscow Tourism Committee, in cooperation with them, we have prepared a program which is called Moscow Plus. So during your trip, you can spend 2 days in Chechnya as well. So thank you very much for your attention. I can take any questions from you, so I'm here with you to answer your questions, and see you later. Thank you.
Mr. Baitaziv, thank you so much. It was an absolutely beautiful presentation. I think many of us have rediscovered the region for themselves. Thank you, truly, very much. And I would like to present our very honored speaker for today, Ms. Fatima Jafar Al-Sairafi, who is Deputy CEO of the Bahrain Tourism and Exhibition Authority. Mrs. Al-Sairafi, welcome.
Thank you very much, Olga. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to begin by extending my thanks to Her Excellency, the Chairman of the Moscow City Tourism Committee, Ms. Katerina Pronoshiva, for the kind invite extended to His Excellency, Mr. Zayed bin Rashid Al Zayani, who is the Minister of Industry, Commerce and Tourism and the Chairman of the Bahrain Tourism and Exhibitions Authority. And we are very excited to take part in this tourism digital roadshow. And I would also like to thank the Deputy Head of Department for External Economic and International Relations and the Deputy Chairman of Moscow City Tourism for their efforts in organizing this event. And may I also commend and thank His Excellency, the Minister of Tourism of the Republic of Chechnya, for his very exciting presentation, and I'm sure that we're all very excited to visit his country very soon. The Kingdom of Bahrain and Russia have always shared significant ties and significant mutually bilateral relations since the 1990s that expand in different areas, being tourism, culture, economic, and investments, to name a few. I'm with you here today to share the potential of tourism in the Kingdom of Bahrain, and I'm sure that we are going to share today with you some very exciting tourism opportunities for the Russian market. If you give me a moment to share my screen with you all. Today, we invite you to discover the pearl of the Middle East and what makes our island a very exciting island for the Russians and for different markets to visit. The Kingdom of Bahrain is centrally located to be the ideal gateway to the region's market. And it is one of the most significant commercial crossroads, and it is within close proximity to other GCC countries. We're only a 30-minute drive away from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and a 1-hour plane ride away from UAE, Kuwait, and Oman. Today, we share with you some exciting opportunities for you to be part of our cosmopolitan lifestyle and for you to get a taste of an Arabian getaway in an island destination. If you allow me to share with you a video that can give you a glimpse of what the Kingdom of Bahrain has to offer. One of the things that you can always count on in Bahrain, that is, will always be sunny. And it's a perfect getaway from the Russian cold months. In Bahrain, we offer a lot of multiple water activities and beachfront activities as well. And we also have a diverse range of tourist attractions that are considered to be one of the most attractive attractions when it comes to beachfront and waterfront activities. We also offer exciting beachfront escapes, and we have a number of resorts and hotels that cater to a very diversified range of tastes. We also invite you always to cool off in our waters before engaging and before experiencing our unique dining experiences that are also considered one of the most luxurious experiences in the region. Of course, one of the things that we are very proud of in the Kingdom of Bahrain is that we offer a unique dining scene and a lively nightlife. After enjoying our beachfront experiences, we always like our tourists also to enjoy our vibrant dining scene and our lively nightlife. New venues are popping up all the time in the Kingdom of Bahrain, and we have some of the most exciting bars and restaurants and clubs in the region that cater to different tastes. We also, in the Kingdom of Bahrain, take our shopping very seriously. And in Bahrain, we have an impressive luxury brand portfolio, as well as budget-friendly shopping experiences. We also would like you to experience our unique gold market, which is globally known to be of premium quality and can be found in our traditional shopping area in Manama, specifically in Souk al-Manama, where you can choose from a wide range of golds, whether it's traditional or modern gold. In Souk al-Manama, you will also discover something that is very close to all Bahrainis, which are the beautiful natural pearls that are authentic and cannot be found in anywhere else in the region and maybe also in the world. And that is a testament to our pearling heritage and our pearling history, which I will be sharing with you more details in the next slides. History still shines through in our cosmopolitan island, and we're very proud to have 3 UNESCO heritage sites, 2 of which stem from our Dilmun civilization that stems out from 5,000 years ago, being the Bahrain fort and the Dilmun burial mounds. We also have our 3rd UNESCO heritage site, which is the Pearling Path, which is a testament to our pearling history. And we also invite you to see the pearling path in person and actually experience the old merchant pearling houses, where you can get a taste of our pearling history in the Kingdom of Bahrain. We also have Souk al-Menama, which is considered one of the oldest commercial hubs in the region, where you can also experience many shopping activities and traditional shopping activities that cater to a number of tastes. There's so much history that can be seen in Souk al-Menama, where you can actually get a taste of the GCC's first cinema, as well as the oldest gold market. So speaking of history, in Bahrain, we're always boasting about Bahrain's pearling story, and we would love for you to be a part of that. In Bahrain, we built on our pearling history by creating experiences and initiatives for the present and the future. Tourists in Bahrain can get to experience the history of pearls by starting with the Pearling Path, which is the 2nd World Heritage Site of the Kingdom of Bahrain, and is a testimony of our millennia-old pearl collecting tradition. You can also experience the present, and we invite you to embark on a very exciting adventure with us, which is the adventure of pearl diving. And we invite you to have an experience where you can also experience what the Kingdom of Bahrain is doing in terms of its ecotourism strategy, and test your luck in finding pearls and taking them back to Russia. After you have found your pearl and you are lucky enough to get a pearl after you do the pearl diving experience, we also invite you to visit one of the world's only first pearl institutes in the world, which is Danat, where you can actually take your pearls and have them tested for their authenticity and also get a certification for the authenticity of that pearl in the Kingdom of Bahrain, which is something that you will not be able to do in any other country in the world. When we speak about our thriving tourism infrastructure, we have a number of infrastructure projects that have seen light within the last decade. Our most recent one is the Bahrain International Airport, which has opened up early 2021. In the Bahrain International Airport, it's basically a new chapter in the Kingdom of Bahrain's aviation history, and it supports the growth of tourism and travel in the Kingdom of Bahrain. Bahrain, as many of you know, is also home to the Bahrain International Circuit, and that yearly hosts a Formula One Grand Prix since 2004, making it the first ever track in the Middle East to host the Formula One World Championship. Of course, we also cater for the arts and for the arts enthusiasts, and also for the theater enthusiasts by having the National Theater of Bahrain. The National Theater of Bahrain hosts a number of global performances all year round, and it is one of the largest theaters in the Arab world. Our upcoming infrastructure projects also cater to a myriad of interests. We have many beachfront projects that are on the way, and they are expected to be completed between 2022 to 2024. And we will also have those projects offer landmark tourist attractions and offer different recreational activities that can be enjoyed by different demographics. One of the very exciting projects that we have in the Kingdom of Bahrain is our new Bahrain International Exhibition and Convention Center. It is going to be the largest center in the Middle East, as well as hosting a myriad of advanced infrastructure technology and services to host global international events. It will be definitely a game changer on how international events are hosted in the region, and it is expected to be completed by mid-2022. If you can allow me to share with you a very short video on the new Bahrain International Exhibition and Convention Center, just to showcase what the center has to offer.
A new home of innovation, a place of boundless possibilities. Another landmark will arise in the heart of the Kingdom of Bahrain. The new Exhibition and Convention Center, completing the ensemble formed by Bahrain International Circuit, Bahrain International Sports City, the shopping mall and hotels. Traditional forms translated into contemporary architectural language, all cast from a single mold. Exhibitions, congresses, and events, everything is possible. Modern, variable, and functional. Prepare for a whole new dimension in the visitor and exhibitor experience on a site covering some 295,000 square meters and designed to meet the most exacting standards. Convention Center, Concourse, and the exhibition, 3 areas, 1 goal: aesthetic functionality. Due to the meticulous development concept, every hall has its own loading area, accessible from the rear of the center. The front entrance is reserved exclusively for visitors, guaranteeing structured logistics for every conceivable event. The convention center and administration areas form the gateway. The architectural language flows seamlessly into the indoor areas with restaurant, public service areas, and meeting rooms, offering variable capacities from 30 to 200 people. But the highlight of the center is the Grand Hall, multifunctional, flexible, and offering the option of subdividing the whole into different distinct areas, with maximum space for up to 4,000 guests at conferences, banquets, weddings, and so much more. The trunk and backbone of the new Exhibition and Convention Center, the Concourse. This is where it's at. Shops and retail, food and beverages, and entrances to all the exhibition halls. The heart of every event, the hub of the entire complex. And while we're at it, up to 95,000 square meters of pure exhibition space, spread evenly over 10 halls. What's more, each hall includes its own storage areas and breakout rooms. The perfect place to seal the deal. In a nutshell, the ultimate for exhibitors and visitors alike. The new Exhibition and Convention Center, Bahrain International Circuit, and Bahrain International Sports City. A perfect ensemble. The home of success and innovation.
I would like to conclude today's presentation with something that's very close to each and every Bahraini's heart, and that is our rich history of coexistence. We always say in Bahrain that what makes Bahrain unique is its people. And luckily enough, we always like to share that story with our tourists. In Bahrain's capital, Manama, you will find that it is one of the most religiously diverse cities in the GCC. Within a 1 kilometer radius, you can experience different places of worship that houses basically mosques, churches, the first synagogue in the region, and 3 Hindu temples, which include a 200-year-old Hindu temple. We always like tourists to share that story with us of coexistence and how religiously diverse the Kingdom of Bahrain is. And the religious diversification always stems out of the diversification and the uniqueness of our people. We are very excited to have Russian tourists in the Kingdom of Bahrain, and we are even more excited to have them experience the story of tourism in our country.
Mrs. Asarafi, thank you so much.
Recording in progress. Yeah, it's back.
For a stunning presentation.
Thank you, Olga.
Recording in progress.
I'm sorry, there is some problems in the sound. I would like to turn the floor over back to Anna. Anna, maybe a few words.
Yes, I just want to thank Ms. Fatima Jafar Al-Sairafi for a wonderful presentation. It was very impressive, and I'm sure that all my Russian colleagues now want to go to Bahrain as well. Thank you so much, and thank you for your support in our event.
And dear participants, thank you so much for joining us today, for showing us what Moscow is and what other regions of Russia are as well. And most importantly, getting inspired our participants by our country and by Bahrain as well. And I would like to kindly invite you back to B2B sessions. I hope they will be productive. And please set as many sessions as we can. Thank you so much.